Now, you might remember back in October of last year, we spoke to the Colorado native Mary Timby, who had travelled all the way to Lisdoonvarna after hearing about the legendary matchmaking festival on Schitt's Creek, of all places. And what started as a leap of faith has turned into a real-life love story. And now not only is Mary back with us, but we're also joined by the man she met at the matchmaker bar, Clare's own Jay Mangan. Mary and Jay, it's very much a good morning to both you guys over in Colorado. Good morning, thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Good
How's
to
it
be
going?
here.
Very, very well, and great to have you both on, and great to have you back, Mary. I suppose to start with yourself, I mean, looking back now to when we chatted to you then, or even before then, to where you are now, does it still feel a bit surreal that a trip to Lisdoonvarna has turned into all of this?
Surreal is the perfect word, Alan. Since then, we've not only cultivated a grounded, authentic relationship, but also just the interest in our love story continues to grow. And it all feels very surreal going on a talk show. We were on a talk show in New York City. So it definitely continues to feel surreal. Perfect word.
And can you just remind listeners, Mary, about what made you travel from Colorado to Lisdoonvarna in the first place? As I mentioned, you heard of the festival mentioned on, of all places, Schitt's Creek, but the circumstances prior to that saw you look to Lisdoonvarna as an option.
Yes. So, like so many people, I was sitting on my couch during COVID and watched an episode of Schitt's Creek where an Irish matchmaking festival is mentioned. And I remember Googling it and being like, oh my goodness, that's a real thing. Wouldn't that be a fun thing to do someday? So fast forward to August of 2025. I was kind of just at a point where I was at a crossroads. My love life felt really stalled, and I found myself in a world of transitions in other areas of my life. And I just thought, what do I want to do for me? And Ireland, just visiting Ireland came up first. And then I thought, well, what would I want to do there? And I just had this memory of the Schitt's Creek episode and thought, well, I wonder when that is. Wouldn't that be fun to just go visit? And it happened to be all of September. So a few weeks later, I found myself there.
And when you flew into Shannon Airport, and let's face it, it was pretty much on a whim. I mean, what were you expecting when you arrived and getting out to Lisdoonvarna and seeing what was going on? Did it match up to what you had seen online, or what the concept or idea you had in your head?
Yeah, that's a great question. I definitely went into it with no expectations. I had seen a range of things online. And to me, I wasn't looking for my forever person. I wasn't looking for a match. I wasn't even looking for a hookup. To be honest, I just thought oh, this is fun. What a unique opportunity to explore. And, I think the festival, when I first went the first night, that first Friday of September, it was not as many people my age. It was people of an older age group. But I had heard from some other folks, just stay out, and have the crack, as you all say, and as Jay says. And that's when kind of Lisdoon came alive at night, and I did. I had a great time. So I would say, I went into it with no expectations, and so and that really is kind of the beauty of the story, is that I went into it with no expectations and then actually ended up meeting someone.
So to bring you in, Jay, Mary had no expectations, and she's gone out on a limb, having heard about the festival on a TV show and gone on a whim in a sense as well. For you, it wasn't your first time attending the matchmaking festival. You'd been a few times. What made you decide to give it a third go, or give it one more shot? And had the previous times not worked out as well as you'd hoped, or had there been some level of success but it hadn't turned into what you and Mary have now?
Yeah, Alan, I just kind of was going back to kind of just have a bit of crack with some of the lads that I knew. I kind of wasn't actively looking to meet anyone, to be honest with you. And I was going back to just listen to some music and have the crack outside in Lisdoon, like.
So take us back to that moment in the Matchmaker bar. Did Mary see you? Did you see her? Who struck up the conversation? How did that all work?
Yeah, so I seen Mary at the bar, and I said I'd go over and have a chat and see, and the conversation just kind of flowed. We were talking very easily, and the crack was good, and I felt there was a bit of depth in conversation. It was a little bit different to kind of what I normally would experience. So yeah, no, it just felt great.
And from your perspective, Mary, did it feel likewise that there was a bit more substance to this conversation than just a quick chat at a festival, a fleeting chat?
Yeah, I mean, I remember meeting him and thinking like, oh, like this is a really genuine, like thoughtful person. He wasn't like, there, he was there to party a little bit, I guess. But it was our initial conversation was relatively brief because there's music and loud, it's loud, it's a bar. We was actually at the matchmaking bar. But yeah, I think getting to know him long term for me was kind of where the gold was. Yeah, just getting to know him on the longer term, I'd say. In that moment, it was, people were having the crack at the matchmaking bar and it was kind of loud and I was drawn to him and it wasn't until he followed up with a message the next day and said, "Hey, I actually, enjoyed our conversation." And I said, "Me too." And we said, let's have further conversations. So.
And further conversations you did have. And, it's I'm sure you're both enjoying, Jay, that this is clearly developing or potentially developing into something. But there's always that kind of, I suppose, sword of Damocles of Mary being from the US and having to return there at some point hanging over you. So how did you kind of, I suppose, maneuver around that? Always aware of it, but still trying to make sure that you both thought there was something here and trying to grow that.
Yeah, we didn't kind of treat the distance like a problem to solve. It wasn't a burden. Like we kind of planned our visits, and we're communicating constantly. Via text message, FaceTime and calls. So it's kind of very easy that way for us. And the commitment has made us very strong as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd add that if anything, it's a challenge long distance, sometimes the time difference and those things, but adding to what Jay said, just it's also a little bit of an opportunity for us
Mm.
as a relatively new relationship to have that opportunity for distance because dating is honeymoon phase in the beginning. It's a whirlwind, especially when you're doing it partially online.
Yeah.
And so and sharing that story online. So for us it's been like an opportunity to just kind of ground our relationship and really get to know each other in an authentic way.
And how clearly it's gone well, Jay. But with the backdrop of the fact that the relationship is well publicised, we're speaking to you now. We've spoken to Mary before, as Mary mentioned. You've spoken to New York radio stations and so on. It's a well-known relationship, and Mary's TikTok videos have gathered tons of views. How has that been? Having a natural, organic, evolving, and progressing relationship whilst keeping people abreast of how it's going.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been an adjustment, to be honest, Alan. It was all new for me, having the story out there and experiencing going into studios and talking to reporters and, experiencing all of that. But yeah, it's been eye-opening, to be honest, as well. So yeah, it's been great, so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we like do well. We're a good team and like
Mm.
leaning on each other really helps. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say that like there are so many moments of nerves, but we have each other and lean into that. And like we are happy to share our story. It is a good one. And there are many like just like any relationship, so many in between great moments that no one else sees too. So leaning into those moments as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're both joining us from your hometown, Mary, Fort Collins, Colorado. So how did that work in terms of how long are you there, Jay? Are you there for a while now? And presumably not longer than 90 days. We know at the moment it's not wise for Irish people or anyone to overstay their visa. Is this part of a plan, a structured plan? Jay, you go over there for a couple of months and then Mary reciprocates and see how it works? Or what have you made of Colorado?
Yeah, so roughly I've been here for a few weeks. So I was lucky enough I could work remotely from here, which was great. So we got to see what kind of our lives would look like on a daily basis. Um,
Yeah, I think having him here and just the day to day was really important to us. Just the day to day connection and getting to know how we work. Like we're sharing an office here in my house in Fort Collins. And yeah, I mean, we are really like trying to be thoughtful and realistic about discussions about, what our relationship looks like right now, what it could look like in the future. And we want to see what life could feel like together. And so, yeah, and part of that too is me coming out for St. Patty's Day in March, and then also testing out what months at a time could feel like with moving to Ireland for a few months this summer, with me moving to Ireland for a few months this summer. So we're just, asking the right questions and taking it day by day. I'd say it's kind of a mix of like communication and thinking long term
For sure.
as well,
Yeah.
but thinking realistically.
Yeah, and Jay, for you, what is it like visiting Mary's hometown and meeting her family? And I'm sure Mary had them well versed on what's been going on, but how they felt about meeting someone that Mary met, given the story we know well.
He won't say this, but they love him. My friends and family love Jay.
The Irish charm.
Yeah, that's it. I win them all over with the accent anyway. But yeah, it's been fantastic so far. I've really enjoyed myself out here. And our family have taken me on as one of their own. Like it's been great. Really enjoyed it. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like both of our hometowns and our communities have really like embraced and supported our love story, and having met each other's families, that support is definitely there. So
yeah, that certainly bodes well. And you mentioned Mary, Jay's getting on well there. He's met your family, getting on well. You've been to Clare already, as we know. You've said it feels woven into your story, so that bodes very well for you spending a more extended period here. You have met Jay's family already?
I have, yes. I met them in October when I visited for my birthday when I was back in Clare, which is beginning to feel like a second home for sure. And then I also spent Christmas with his family, which Irish Christmas is next level. We just had such a good time. So yeah, I've had the opportunity to meet them.
Brilliant. And it's about, with so much public attention on your story, guys, whichever one of you wants to take this, how do you protect the private milestones that mean the most? You have to have a lot of moments in your relationship that maybe you keep to yourselves or you don't talk about.
Yeah, I mean, that was important to us from the beginning, from like the initial conversation where I was like, so that this is like online, and getting his permission and his consent to share our dating before we shared, his name. And to me, and in order to build an authentic relationship, it is those, we call them the in-between moments. And putting our relationship first, above anything else, and really like staying grounded and building. I think from the beginning we've built a strong foundation
For sure.
in like how we communicate, what we share, what we don't share. I mean, we're both like pretty open books, and there's no like controversy behind this story. We just met and it clicked, and we have so much support as well, from everyone. So I'd say, we just communicate about what feels right to us, and just stay grounded in our relationship.
Well, long may that continue, and great that things are going brilliantly, and hopefully that will get even better when you come over to Clare, Mary. And we really do appreciate both of you joining us at a fairly early hour over in Fort Collins, Colorado, to have a chat with us. We're going to play a song that we'll dedicate to both of you, but for the moment, before we speak again, Mary Timby and Jay Mangan, guys, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ellen.
Thanks, Alan.
Take care. Thank you.
Take care. We'll let you go back to bed now. Jay Mangan and Mary Timby there.